It's time for me to start my Coetail video, and I wonder how I should start this. I guess I should start the same way my students do, by generating ideas and making a storyboard. Preparation is an early stage of creation, and it occurred during course 4 of Coetail when I imagined two paths that students could follow in order to do their project. Incubation is when you let it go for a while, and when you come back to your project you have a fresh perspective on it. The summer break was actually my incubation time. At this stage you generate new ideas, and that's what happened to me at the beginning of the school year.
We were particularly inspired by the hashtag Teach SDGs website. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals that are laid out by the United Nations, and a group of teachers got together and has, so it's not just the SDGs, it's about how we're teaching kids, how we're spreading the word, how we're getting kids empowered. And so we have this really wonderful space, and everybody likes to make things, but we were thinking, why just make more stuff? Wouldn't it be better if we had kids making stuff that made the world a better place? If this creative process that we asked them to go through led to some deeper understandings about something that could possibly change the world.
Poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings.
We then had a reflection about how important it is to take into account the specificities of our space and audience. Sometimes a good project can fail to meet its goal if it's not appropriately packaged and communicated in a way that makes sense for the kids.
There are ways to be creative. They all have 3, 4, 5 steps that are all pretty much the same thing. It's just how you frame it. But there is a structure to being creative. And what I find is that's a lot what lacks when we ask kids to be creative in the classroom. Oh, we're going to do the end of the unit? I'd like you to go make a PowerPoint. Well, there's structure to that. Or my favorite is like, well, my kids are going to make a movie. Okay, are you structuring the process of making a movie? No, they're just going to do it. No, you don't just make a movie. There's a structure that we can put in place. And through that structure, we can have long-term because we can assess the little pieces along the way.
Process is when learning takes place, so it is extremely important to document it. Students first create a prototype of their game design or movie or radio show, and then they're not quite done yet because they still need a feedback in order to improve their prototype.
Welcome back to Strictly News with Kaina, Shayna, and Erin as your drama queens.
It is so sad. Our world is so many.
Okay, Erin, we get it. You're such a drama queen. So many what?
So many
Problems. Yeah, especially climate change and those cute little polar bears.
We are trying to help make this world a better place for people
And animals.
of all kinds.
Students need to get feedback from people who are not in their group. As Ewan McIntosh defines it, these feedback should be kind, specific, and useful. Here is the feedback that 3 students gave me about this project.
So we're making a radio show and we're making it about climate change, and we're making it so that we can inform the world what's happening and so that we can help the world.
I think that it is fun and exciting, and I listen to my mom. I listen to my mom's radio, and it's just like cool, so I wanted to try and make my own radio.
I've learned that there's 17 goals that people around the world are trying to achieve, and that we should all help, and I'm helping my friends.
We enjoy working on the radio, and it's interesting to learn new things that we can do on that. And every time we learn something new.
I've never worked with a radio like computer before, and when I speak into the mic, it's really cool because I can add different sound effects.
It's very organized, and we can get our work done when there's different stations.
So it was organized, and it wasn't just like back and forth, so we might say like, and today we're going to be talking about polar bears, and then we start talking about recycling, and then polar bears, and then recycling, all in one like squished together, and it just is really confusing for the people who listen to it.
It was helpful because it helped plan everything out, and we knew exactly what we were doing and how we would do it.
It's better to work with people, so you have different opinions, and then you can decide on one or a couple of them.
It helped me, but it also helped us when we know how to make things better.
You knew what other people would think about your video or radio show or whatever, and you wouldn't just say, I think they like this, but they like the complete opposite.
Very excited, and I'm very interested and excited to share it, so that other people realize that the world has a lot of problems, and that we can all help to fix them.
I think it would make a difference because with the world, it would, if they do how we suggest in it, it would help much more than just if the class did it.
Well, I just watch a lot of YouTube, and I think that it's cool that the people on YouTube put their self out there to be heard, and well, first, my friends and I thought, we were like, we want to be famous, and we're gonna have a mansion, and we're gonna have all this stuff, but it's really about making a world a better place. Maybe if it's not on the web, you might just show it to your family, and it won't get that far in the world. Not everyone will hear it, and like only people in Luxembourg or your family will hear it. And so if you put it on the web, then everybody can see it and hear it.
As a student or as an educator, you constantly need to reflect on your own practices if you want to improve.
Coetail helped me in many ways to achieve this project. The first one being that through Coetail you learn a lot about project-based teaching, digital citizenship, design process, creativity, and all these aspects are really part of this Better World Creative Lab. I think that was good to be as well part of a community and see what other people do, get some inspiration. In the end, there's no originality. Your inspiration always comes from something, somewhere, even if it's unconscious. That is so important, no matter what you do, to get a feedback. It can be a feedback from your peers, it can be a feedback from someone outside your bubble, and having kids' feedback to me was the most precious thing. So thank you to Coetail, thank you Coetailer. I'm very glad to be part of this community. That's the end of Coetail for me, but it's clearly not an end. It's really just a step, just a beginning for something new, and I will just remix, reuse, and try to amplify what I've learned here with Coetail. Thank you for watching this. Bye. Au revoir.